think you're on mute, Quinn.
You got me now?
I have you now. So we are
Awesome.
now joined. We are now joined by Quin Houff, and he's driving the 00, heading into the 63rd running of the Daytona 500. And we're going to go straight into questions. Our first question will come from David de Guzman. Go ahead with your question, David.
Hey, Quinn. It's nice to see you. This is kind of your sophomore season, full-time racing in NASCAR's Cup Series. What did you learn from that first full season of kind of doing it every day? I know it was a season unlike any other.
Yeah, I mean, the list of things I learned in my rookie season is a very long one. And, heading into my first full Cup season as a rookie with a new team, haven't worked with any of those guys at Starcom Racing before, and then you get hit by a pandemic and you lose all your practice and qualifying time on the track. So that put us under a lot of stress, and my guys worked hard accordingly to get these things as close as we could to race ready at the shop, and then learning, just my racecraft as well along the way. And I felt like we progressed well throughout the season and maintained realistic goals. And heading into 2021, we got notes to lean on now. I got some experience to lean on now, so we should be able to hit the ground that much better.
If I could follow up, obviously you're representing Virginia. When you think of Virginia drivers, you instantly think, Denny Hamlin. Have you talked with Denny at all about, kind of representing the Commonwealth, and what other drivers may have influenced you in now your early part of this career?
No, I haven't really talked with Denny a lot. I had the privilege to work with a lot of guys that Denny was involved with coming up through the late model ranks, at South Boston Speedway and over in Richmond area that he's from. So, the ties are pretty close there, and to be one of the few Virginia guys to be able to race at the Cup Series level is a humbling thing to be able to say and do. And, growing up, there's so much history that I went through just in Virginia at South Boston Speedway. For example, you have the Burtons there, the Sadlers there. So that sort of stuff's pretty special. And I'm glad to be able to represent the Commonwealth another season in the Cup Series level.
All right. Thanks, Quinn. Good luck in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Mark Garrow. Go ahead with your question, Mark.
Thanks. Good afternoon, Quinn. What's life like for lower budget teams in the back of the pack? What's that life like as you guys try to fight to get better and fight to move up the ladder?
Well, life's great to me, just to be able to race for a living instead of working back at home in a trailer shop or anything like that. So it's definitely a grind for, teams like us, smaller budget teams like us. We only have 20 people. All of our people put in a tremendous amount of work back at home, and then have to as well go on the road a lot of times and do the work at the racetracks as well. And the atmosphere at our shop right now is very good. I have great confidence in all the people we have, and they have great confidence in me. And that's what it takes, is to believe in each other, to be able to go out and achieve our goals each and every week, and to be able to have all those components back together for a second season in a row. I think it's going to be valuable for our team, and I think the results are going to show just out of that. So I'm really looking forward to getting everything kicked off at the Daytona 500 in a few weeks.
How do you keep your confidence up, trying to get, say, a top 25 as opposed to these guys that have a chance to go out and win? What do you have to do to, either personally or as a team, just try to keep that confidence up to keep doing what you're doing?
Yeah, I think it's just all about being realistic and having realistic goals about what we need to achieve. If we go out there and don't be realistic, or if I try to overachieve those goals, things can go bad really quick. And there's a lot of give and take that you have to learn throughout. Excuse me. There's a lot of give and take that you have to learn throughout the season, in my rookie season, to learn that, and the kind of strategies that we have to run, and the kind of give and take that I have to achieve each and every week in these races. And that's something I felt like I did very well at last year, and I look forward to applying that this year to be able to maximize every opportunity each and every week for our race team to continue to progress.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Tucker White. Go ahead with the question, Tucker.
All right, just record. Quinn, as we've seen in the last few years, especially the last season, the best driver over the course of the season doesn't often make the championship round of the playoffs or even win the title. So given given how fluky it has become to make the championship race or even win the championship now, how is it a good metric to deciding a champion, especially considering that leagues like IndyCar and Formula One decide their champion via a season-long format?
Yeah, I mean, I think the NASCAR playoff system is very exciting. A lot of other sports use playoff systems much like we do, and it also just makes each and every week's product that much more exciting. You at the beginning of the season, the very first race, there's guys that have a chance to lock themselves into a shot at the beginning of the championship rounds later in the season already. So that makes each and every week that much more important to win or to run up front for these guys to get those stage points as well that add up at the end of the season. So it's all about that unknown. I mean, you really don't know until the last lap of the last race at the end of the season who's going to win the championship, and that's what's very intriguing to a lot of our fans and keeps our drivers on our toes as well. So I thought last year went very well. Hats off to NASCAR for achieving the full season and ending on time and ending with a great show at Phoenix, and I know that we're poised to do that again in 2021.
All right, thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Jamil Hawkins. Go ahead with your question, Jamil.
Thank you, Mark. Or Matt. Quinn, do you think that your lack of feeder series experience, not making that many Xfinity starts when you were coming up through the ranks, hampered your first season in the Cup Series, considering that there was no practice for majority of the races?
Yeah, obviously heading into my first full-time season as a rookie in the Cup Series, I knew there was going to be challenges with the way I came up through the rankings so quickly, and I knew those challenges, and I knew that I had to prepare as much as I can away from the racetrack to do that. And Starcom believed that I could do that, and obviously nobody knew heading into that race season that we are going to have a pandemic amid it and take away that extra track time as well. But I felt like we achieved the goals very well and stayed very realistic even through all that. And I don't think we did anything other than prove that we can be here and that we can do this and that we will continue to progress and learn as a team. So heading into 2021, even with many one-day shows still on the schedule, I feel very confident about it just off of what we learned together last year. And I believe that we're going to continue to improve as a program.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Our next question will come from Dustin Albina. Go ahead with your question, Dustin.
Yeah, Quinn, over the last year, how influential has Derek been on you?
What was that?
Yeah, over the last year, how influential has Derek Cope been on you?
Over the last year with Derek has been very fun to work with him. He's got a lot of experience. He's been in about every part of the industry, from engine building to driver to now team general manager. And I actually get to race with him again here at this upcoming Daytona 500, which will be very exciting to just see everything that he's talked about being applied with him. So he's been a lot of help. I mean, like we just talked about with a rookie season, that a lot of practice and qualifying time was taken away from me. I had to use all the resources I could, from current drivers to past drivers, and to be able to have a Daytona 500 champion in your corner was very useful throughout the season for sure.
Cool, thank you.
Our next question will come from Kelvin LaPierre. Go ahead with your question, Kelvin.
Hey, Quinn, thanks for taking my question. With NASCAR's schedule changing a lot this year, it's being deemed as one of the most exciting, if not the best year of NASCAR due to these changes. With those changes, what track are you looking forward to the most? And with those 8 practice sessions, what do you need to learn the most out of all of those?
Yeah, I mean, NASCAR's got a very interesting schedule put together with a lot of new things. And as a driver, a green rookie driver that came off of learning a lot of new things last year, I'm looking forward to continuing to do that challenge, as well as all the other drivers having to do the same thing that I have as well. So, there's a lot to look forward to just for me heading into my sophomore year, just to go back to all these tracks I've been to and apply what I've learned and see where I've gained with the team progression wise. But as far as new things that I'm looking forward most to is just getting more road courses under my belt, learning that racecraft a lot better. We only got 2 opportunities to run road courses last year, so looks like we got a couple more slated and a couple more tracks to do that at as well. And obviously the big topic with Bristol Dirt, not having any dirt experience myself, I'm looking forward to that challenge as well, and already starting to do as much practice as I can virtually and watch as much film as I can about that as well. So a lot of unknowns and a lot to look forward to, and I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Thanks, Quinn. Good luck this couple weeks.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Cole Cusimano. Go ahead with the question, Cole.
Thank you. Hey, Quinn, we spoke a month ago about changes for 2021, and you mentioned being more assertive in the race car. So knowing what you do now about the importance of keeping the car in one piece at Daytona as a smaller team, how do you balance the two, and is there a specific game plan for the 500?
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of give and take. Driver in a position like I'm in that you have to learn, and I learned that very early on last year at the very first race at the Daytona 500, just being too aggressive too early, and some guys just not liking that, and that ended our day early, unfortunately. And we had a great race car, so I got to apply that what I learned from that race in the next two super speedway races back at Daytona, as well as the two races at Talladega, and I felt like we did very well there. And it's as far as strategies for a team like ourselves at the Daytona 500 is doing whatever we can to maintain staying on the lead lap to keep ourselves in position there at the end. And then, like any other driver is going to tell you, if you're one of those cars that's running at the end of the Daytona 500, you never know what can happen, and anyone has a chance. And our goal is to be one of those cars. So we're looking forward to running all 500 miles and getting a Daytona 500 finish under our belt. And I know if we're there at the end and run all those miles, that we're going to come out of there with a good finish.
Thank you, sir. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
Final question for Quinn is going to come from Marty Sakala. Go ahead with your question, Marty.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, Quinn. Good talking with you again. We spoke last year amongst the beginning of the pandemic, and I had asked you that same question Dustin had asked about Derek Cope being a great mentor to you. Now you get to race with him in the 500. Is that really going to help you when it comes to racing on super speedways?
Yeah, I really do think it'll help me. Being a single car operation, these super speedway races can be very difficult, not having any teammates from home unloading with you to know that it's going to work with you, and having to go out there kind of by yourself and make people be in positions that they have to help you and show them that what your car is capable of, whether that be leading or pushing, and what kind of knowledge I have about getting through the draft as well. So that was something that was kind of difficult right out the gate last year for me, being on a single car team and heading into my second Daytona 500, knowing that the coach that I've had coaching me for all these super speedway races is actually going to be out there racing with me. So I'm looking forward to getting the opportunity to work with him on the racetrack now and off the racetrack, and seeing what we can do to make the most out of it for both of us.
Thanks, Quinn. Good luck to you these next few weeks in Speed Weeks.
Thank you.
Yeah, Quinn, thanks for taking the time, and good luck in the 63rd running of the Daytona 500 live on Fox. We'll see you there.